education methodologies. The government also expanded rehabilitation infrastructure. New CARTS facilities at Tando Muhammad Khan and Korangi have been completed, while the Sakhar Mega Complex and centers in Mirpur Khas, Karachi Central and DHA Karachi are progressing. The Sindh Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Ladkana, has achieved approximately 90% completion, while a similar facility is being developed in Sakhar. Rehabilitation facilities also being expanded in Karachi, Badin, Shahdatpur, Jacobabad, Moro, Daud and Mithi. To improve accessibility and opportunity, 42 digital classrooms were established for deaf students. Pakistan's largest vocational training facility for persons with disabilities was established at Korangi, and assisted devices worth rupees 800 million were distributed across Sindh. Honourable Speaker, sir, I now turn to another area where government has delivered tangible results for citizens across the province: modernizing public transport, improving mobility, and advancing sustainable transportation solutions. An efficient, affordable and accessible transport system is essential for economic growth, social inclusion and urban productivity. The People's Bus Service continued its successful expansion, with operational fleet reaching 290 buses and services extended to Khairpur, Shikarpur, Tando Alayar and Hyderabad. Today the service carries approximately 125,000 passengers daily and has served more than 1 million passengers since its launch. To improve mobility for women, the Pink Bus Service, Pakistan's first women-exclusive public transport initiative, continued to expand. The government also accelerated the transition towards green mobility. During the year, 34 electric buses became operational, while an additional 100 electric buses are being inducted into the transport network. Furthermore, procurement of the first 500 electric buses under the broader 1,000 EV bus program is being undertaken through a public-private partnership framework, making it one of the largest green transport initiatives in Pakistan. To further strengthen Karachi's transport network, the government has approved procurement of 50 modern double-decker buses at a cost of approximately rupees 4.8 billion, out of which 25 double-decker buses will be on the road in the next 3 months. The new fleet is expected to serve more than 30,000 passengers daily and will significantly enhance public transport capacity in the city. Sir, I now turn to another important pillar of our development strategy: leveraging public-private partnerships to accelerate infrastructure development, attract investment and create new opportunities for economic growth. The Government of Sindh has successfully positioned public-private partnership as a key instrument for infrastructure development. Today, Sindh possesses the largest public-private partnership portfolio in Pakistan, valued at approximately rupees 877 billion, with projects worth rupees 190 billion under construction and a further 365 billion under procurement and investment. These projects span transportation, water supply, renewable energy, urban infrastructure and environmental sustainability. A flagship project under this framework is the Ghodki-Kandkot Bridge, the largest bank-to-bank or longest bank-to-bank bridge across River Indus in Pakistan, spanning approximately 12.2 kilometers. The project will transform connectivity in northern Sindh. The government also launched the carbon emission reduction through forestation project, covering approximately 35,000 hectares of riverine forest in Jamshoro and Matiari district. The project will sustain climate resilience, support carbon sequestration, enhance biodiversity and create livelihood opportunities for local people. Sir, I now turn to water security, sanitation and public health infrastructure. Access to clean drinking water, sanitation and reliable public health infrastructure remains essential for public health, economic well-being and sustainable development. During the current financial year, the government continued to invest significantly in water supply, sanitation and drainage infrastructure across Sindh. Out of 167 targeted water supply and drainage schemes, 147 schemes have been completed, while work on 146 additional schemes is progressing and is expected to be completed during the next financial year. Major achievements include the completion of ultraviolet filtration water supply project at Ratodero and significant progress on the Shahdad Kot water supply and drainage project, improving access to safe drinking water and sanitation service for local communities. The government is also implementing 578 water supply and sanitation schemes with an investment of approximately rupees 45.56 billion alongside 67 rural development schemes worth rupees 5.10 billion. Sir, I now turn to the area that will determine the future competitiveness of our province, empowering our youth through technology, innovation and digital skill. Recognizing that future economy will increasingly be driven by technology, innovation and knowledge, the Government of Sindh has made significant investments in digital transformation, technology education and skill development. During 2025-26, substantial progress was achieved through successful implementation of People's Information Technology Program Phase 2, one of the largest digital skill initiatives in Sindh. Sir, I'll just skip the details. They're here, and this document is part of the record of the assemblies. And I'll just, due to shortage of time, I'll just move on to two important nation-building sectors, the works and services and irrigation. In works and services, approximately rupees 146 billion has been released for the projects, including 10.94 billion for maintenance and rehabilitation. 341 schemes have been completed. 2,936 kilometer roads has been either new roads have been built or rehabilitated, almost 3,000 kilometers in the year. On the irrigation side, rupees 96 billion were released, and important achievements in the irrigation because we were particularly concerned about floods. So we focused on the floods, and as a result, the Karo Ghungro outfall drain system has achieved 69% physical progress. Soni Dhoro restoration project is almost complete. The Khairpur drainage network, restoring drainage services to approximately 142,000 acres affected by the 2022 floods, is almost complete. The Ranara Canal head reach lining has been completed. Shadi Wa small canal lining has been completed. Bulleri distributary lining is almost complete. Rajwa lining is almost complete. Bahadurwa lining is almost complete. Ganjbar lining is almost complete. Gaja Guni branch drain and Hajipur pumping stations have been physically completed substantially. And the K4 support project, the KB feeder lining, has achieved 78% physical progress and inshallah will be completed in the next financial year. So now I turn to the budget strategies and priorities for financial year 2026-27. The budget for financial year 2026-27 reflects a commitment to fiscal responsibility, economic stability, and continued investment in the welfare of our people. The total budget outlay for the coming financial year is rupees 3.562 trillion, comprising current expenditure of 2.560 trillion, a development portfolio of rupees 720.39 billion, and capital expenditure of rupees 281.7 billion. Despite significant fiscal constraints and additional national obligations, we have protected allocations for education, healthcare, irrigation, public safety, local government services, and social protection. The budget has been formulated on the principles of fiscal prudence, protection of human development, infrastructure investment, and support for vulnerable sections of the society through a balanced combination of expenditure rationalization, improved resource mobilization, and targeted investments. This budget seeks to sustain economic growth, strengthen public services, enhance climate resilience, and create opportunities for future generations across Sindh. The budget has been prepared on a balanced strategy founded on 4 principles: safeguarding Sindh's constitutional rights, maintaining fiscal sustainability, contributing to national stability, and continuing investment in the welfare of our people. Honourable Speaker, Sindh responded positively to federal government's request for cooperation towards national strategic requirements. However, from the outset, we made it clear support must remain fully consistent with the Constitution, protect Sindh's rights under the NFC award, and not compromise provinces' development priorities, fiscal sustainability, or public service delivery obligations. Following extensive negotiations, the Government of Sindh secured a comprehensive framework of constitutional and financial safeguards through an arrangement with the federal government. The most important safeguard is the full protection of Sindh's constitutional entitlement under the 7th NFC award. This arrangement explicitly secures fiscal protection mechanism through a guaranteed federal revenue assignment base of Rs 3.35 trillion. Even if federal revenues fall below this threshold, Sindh's protected share will remain insulated from such shortfalls, ensuring stability and predictability in provinces' finances. At the same time, any revenues collected above the projected federal revenue assignment of Rs 15.264 trillion will continue to be distributed under the NFC formula, ensuring that Sindh retains its full constitutional share in future revenue growth. Honourable Speaker, the constitutional basis for this support is rooted in Article 164 of the Constitution, which empowers the Provincial Assembly to make grants in respect of matters beyond its legislative competence. This arrangement reflects the spirit of cooperative federalism.